My child, this is a one-time only moment. Don't throw it away. You have no idea how sacred this season is, even though it may not feel like it. You see the delay, the confusion, the silence, but I see the shaping, the refining, the preparation. I know it's been hard. I know you've cried silent tears at night, wondering if I still see you, wondering if I still care. But let me reassure you, I've never looked away from you, not even once. Every sigh, every tear, every time you whispered my name in pain, I heard it, and I held it, and I held you. My child, I know they're watching, shocked by what they've seen, shocked that you're still standing, still breathing, still moving forward, when everything said you wouldn't make it. I know the way they look at you, the way they question how someone like you could still rise after all you've been through. But I want you to hear this. You're not standing because you're strong. You're standing because I am. Because my strength is perfected in your weakness. Because I have wrapped you in grace and covered you in favor, even when you didn't feel worthy of it. If you have trust in our message, please leave a yes in the comments below. Your support through a small donation not only helps our mission, but also fuels our journey. And if our content touches your heart, do consider subscribing. May God bless you. They don't see the nights you almost gave up, but I do. They didn't hear the prayers you whispered when you had no more strength to fight, but I did, and not one of those cries was wasted. Not one of your battles was overlooked. My child, you are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece in the making, and I am the artist. Do not let the opinions of others rob you of the beauty I'm forming within you. They may judge your story by what they think they know, but I wrote the whole book. I know the plot twist that's coming. I know the victory that's being prepared. And yes, I know what you've lost, but I also know what's being restored. What you thought was a grave, I am turning into a garden. What the enemy meant for evil, I am flipping for good. So don't you dare give up now. You are on holy ground even in your pain. The delay is not a denial, it's a divine setup. You've asked me to use you, and I am. You've prayed for purpose, and I'm preparing you for it. But I cannot place you in rooms that your character hasn't been shaped to carry. So trust the process even when it hurts. Trust me, even when the silence stretches longer than you expected. I am not ignoring you, I am investing in you. I am not absent, I am active in the hidden places. I am working all things together, not just the good, but even the broken pieces you wish had never happened. I am healing you, even in the moments you feel forgotten. I'm building resilience in your spirit, strength in your soul, and fire in your bones. So breathe, my child, breathe deeply. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to chase their approval. You only need to rest in my presence. I loved you at your worst. I died for you knowing everything you'd ever do wrong. And I still chose you. I still called you. I still want you. There is nothing you could do to make me love you less, and nothing you need to do to earn more of my love. It's already yours, fully, freely, forever. And while the world may misunderstand you, label you, or walk away from you, I never will. I'm not going anywhere. I will carry you through this. And when you come out on the other side, and you will, they'll have no choice but to say, only God could have done that. So lift your head, wipe your tears. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where you meet me in a deeper way than ever before. This is the part where I breathe new life into dry bones, where I anoint your scars and turn them into signs of victory. Walk forward not in fear but in faith, because I, the Lord your God, go with you. I walk before you to prepare the way. I walk beside you to hold your hand, and I walk behind you to catch you if you stumble. You are surrounded, you are safe, and you are mine. They cannot believe what you have achieved, and that's exactly how I planned it. They look at you now and can't make sense of it. They remember who you used to be. They remember the version of you that was broken, uncertain, messy, angry, addicted, anxious, or lost. They remember the dark chapters, the mistakes, the failures, the times you fell so low they were certain you'd never rise again. They remember what you lacked. They remember when you had nothing, no direction, no support, no status, no voice. And now they look at you, and they can't understand how you've come this far. They whisper about your progress. They question your peace. They stare at your joy. They analyze your strength like it's a mystery they're trying to solve, because in their minds, someone like you was never supposed to make it. But they didn't know what I had spoken over your life in the secret place. They didn't hear my voice when I called you out of the pit. They didn't see me wrap my arms around you when you were at your lowest. They weren't there when you wanted to give up, and I whispered, "Not yet, I'm not finished with you." No, they don't understand how you keep standing, how you keep showing up, how you keep glowing with peace when everything around you is still uncertain. And the truth is, they're not meant to understand it, because what I've done in your life wasn't meant to make sense in human terms. It was meant to be a sign of what my grace looks like. A sign of what happens when I take someone overlooked and raise them up in the presence of those who counted them out. It's not just about what you've achieved. It's about who carried you there. It's about me, it always has been. I am the one who opened the doors they said would never open. I am the one who gave you favor when logic said you were unqualified. I am the one who lifted you when no one else reached out. Every achievement in your life, my fingerprints on it, even the ones you thought you accomplished alone. Every win was a result of the war I fought for your soul. I know it's been lonely at times. I know the weight of rising up while others are waiting for you to fall. I know the sting of being misunderstood, but I want you to know I'm proud of how far you've come. Not just because of the progress others see, but because of the silent battles you fought when no one was watching, because of the faith you held on to when your world was falling apart, because of the nights you chose to trust me, even when you had every reason to doubt. That kind of faith moves heaven. That kind of perseverance brings down strongholds. You didn't get here by accident. You didn't get here just by talent or connections or luck. You got here because I breathed on your life. I placed purpose in your steps. I turned pain into preparation and sorrow into strength. And yes, it took longer than you thought it would. Yes, you lost some people along the way. Yes, you outgrew environments that once felt like home. But through every change, I was faithful. They may say, "How did you achieve this?" And I will say, because I had my hand on you, because I chose the unlikely, because I always use what the world considers weak to show the strength of my kingdom. What you've achieved is not just success, it's evidence. Evidence that I am still in the business of resurrection. Evidence that I still use broken vessels to pour out glory. Evidence that I still lift people from the ashes and crown them with beauty. You have become a living testimony of my goodness, and that's why they can't understand it. They're trying to explain what can only be revealed through spiritual eyes. So don't let their confusion become your insecurity. Don't shrink to make others comfortable with your growth. Don't apologize for the favor I've placed on your life. You are walking in answered prayers. You are occupying space I designed you for. And if they can't see the process you endured to get here, that's okay. They weren't supposed to. This was never about their validation. This was about your obedience. This was about the quiet yes you gave me over and over again, when you were tired, when you were hurting, when you were overlooked, when you were afraid. That kind of obedience opens heaven. That kind of trust moves mountains. That kind of surrender produces fruit that no one can deny. And I want you to know this is just the beginning. If they're shocked by what you've achieved so far, just wait until they see what's coming. I haven't brought you this far to stop now. I haven't opened these doors to leave you standing alone. I am walking with you into rooms you didn't even know existed. I am giving you a platform, not for your glory, but for mine. I am sending people to bless you, to support you, to protect what I've placed in you. You will not have to fight for what I've already declared yours. You will not have to convince anyone of your worth. I already established it when I formed you in your mother's womb. Let them be surprised. Let them wonder. Let them talk. Every time they question your rise, heaven will whisper, "This is what grace looks like." Every time they doubt your ability, I will remind them that I am the source. You've come too far to doubt now. You've endured too much to retreat. So keep going, keep building, keep walking boldly in the path I've laid before you. You are not an impostor, you are anointed. You are not unworthy, you are chosen. And no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has imagined the things I still have in store for you. They are now jealous of you, and they cannot comprehend how or why. They don't understand how you've risen. They don't understand how, after all the setbacks, the betrayals, the humiliations, the years where nothing seemed to be working, you are now walking in peace, in confidence, in purpose. And their hearts don't know what to do with it, because for so long they were sure you'd never make it. For so long they placed you beneath them, maybe even pitied you, dismissed you, wrote you off, and treated you like someone who would never amount to much. They never expected to look up and see you standing on ground they thought belonged to them. They never imagined your name would be spoken in rooms they hoped to enter. They never thought you would be the one shining with a light they cannot dim, and now that light disturbs them. Now your joy agitates what they've been hiding. Your peace makes them restless. Your progress brings their insecurity to the surface. They say it's not jealousy, but they flinch every time your name is mentioned. They try to downplay what you've achieved, even though they secretly watch everything you do. They laugh in public but scroll in private. They say you've changed, but really, it's your growth that has exposed their stagnation. They can't comprehend the fact that someone they once overlooked has now been elevated. But I can. I knew this day would come. I warned you of it, not to make you afraid, but to prepare your heart for what success costs. Because with blessing comes attention, and with favor comes friction. You are no longer invisible, and that's a threat to the pride of those who only supported you when you were small. You see, people are comfortable with your healing until it moves faster than theirs. They're fine with your growth as long as it doesn't outshine their own. They celebrate your breakthrough until it reveals the areas they're still bound in. And I know it hurts, I know it confuses you. You thought they'd be happy for you. You thought they'd cheer for you, that they'd stay loyal through every season. But the truth is, your elevation disrupted their expectation. They thought you'd always need them. They thought you'd always be beneath them. But now I've reversed the script. I've placed you in a position not to gloat, not to boast, but to glorify me. And even though they don't see it, I do. I see your heart. I see how careful you've been not to become proud, not to lose your humility, not to treat them how they once treated you. That's why I can trust you with more. That's why I can place you higher, because your spirit remains surrendered to me. Even when your name is rising, I allowed the jealousy to surface, not to harm you, but to reveal who can truly walk with you in this next season. Not everyone who started with you is equipped to grow with you. Not everyone who clapped for you when you were struggling will know how to love you when you're shining. And that's okay. I am not asking you to hate them. I'm asking you to release them, to bless them, to forgive them even when the jealousy stings, even when they twist your story, even when they pretend you didn't earn what I gave you. I want you to rise above the pettiness because you are anointed, not just to succeed, but to be set apart. That means I will surround you with people who aren't intimidated by your glow, people who don't compete, but complete, people who aren't offended by your favor, because they know it's not about comparison, it's about calling. You're not here to impress them. You're here to fulfill destiny. Let them be confused. Let them gossip. Let them misinterpret the grace on your life. You don't need to explain what I've already ordained. What they call too much, I call just beginning. What they say you don't deserve, I say you were made for. They don't know the nights you cried out to me. They don't know the weight of the obedience it took to walk away from places and people who once felt like home. They don't know the tears you cried in silence when doors closed, when friends disappeared, when nothing made sense, but you chose to trust me anyway. That kind of faith is rare. That kind of obedience is powerful. That's why I've elevated you. That's why you've stepped into rooms they never expected you to enter. Because you proved you could carry the glory without stealing it. You proved you could be blessed and still be kind. You proved you could lead without pride, love without fear, and shine without forgetting the one who lit the flame. So let them wonder, let them guess. Let them wrestle with their own discomfort. I am your defender, I am your advocate, I am your sustainer, and I will vindicate you. I will continue to bless you, not to make you arrogant, but to make it known that I reward those who walk in integrity, even when it's lonely. You've passed the test. You've grown in silence. You've served faithfully when no one applauded. And now the harvest is being released, not because of who you know or what they think, but because I have chosen to lift you up in such a way that no one can deny it was me. Their jealousy doesn't cancel your blessing. Their confusion doesn't affect your calling. Their opinions do not rewrite the promise I've spoken over your life. I am not finished. In fact, I'm just getting started. You are about to see even more evidence of my hand on your life. You are about to step into territories where no one in your bloodline has gone. You are about to carry influence that isn't bought, but birthed in the place of prayer. And yes, it will make some uncomfortable. Yes, it will trigger more jealousy, but it will also inspire others. It will set captives free. It will reveal me to those who are watching, wondering, waiting. They may not understand your journey, but they won't be able to deny your fruit. And your life, yes, your life, will become a testimony of what happens when someone refuses to give up, refuses to become bitter, refuses to settle, and instead trusts me no matter what. Keep your heart pure. Keep your eyes on me. Don't get distracted by the noise. You are covered, you are protected, and you are walking in divine purpose. I see what others can't. I know the motives they hide. I know the plans they whisper. And I will not allow their schemes to succeed. I will frustrate their attempts. I will silence their lies. I will exalt you in due time. And they will know it was the Lord your God who did it all. Stay humble. Stay faithful. Keep walking and let me handle the rest. They don't show it openly, but I see it. I see the quiet anger burning in their hearts when your name comes up. I see the way they hide their emotions behind smiles and silence. On the outside, they act unaffected, calm, polite, even supportive at times. But deep inside, they are not at peace with what I have done in your life. They are disturbed by your progress, unsettled by your growth, and quietly furious at the level you've reached. And yet they won't say it to your face. They won't confront you, because they know they have no reason, no rightful claim, no honest justification for their rage. They haven't walked your path. They didn't carry your cross. They don't understand the crushing, the discipline, the nights you felt forgotten by the world, but still chose me, still trusted me, still obeyed me. So while they're angry at the outcome, they have no idea what it cost you to get here. They watched you start at the bottom, and they were fine with it. They were okay when you were struggling, when you had nothing, when you were clinging to hope with trembling hands. They supported you then, not out of love, but because they never thought you'd rise. They were comfortable with your survival as long as it stayed beneath their success. But the moment I started pouring out my favor, the moment doors began opening, the moment I lifted you, the moment people began noticing what I placed inside you, something in them shifted. Their applause grew quieter. Their words grew colder. Their presence became inconsistent. They say nothing, but their silence screams with bitterness. Their hearts won't show it, but I see it all. They can't comprehend how far you've come. They can't understand how you, the one they doubted, the one they whispered about, the one they assumed would never be more than average, have become a reflection of my glory. And the truth is, it offends them, because your life is now a mirror, and when they look at you, they see everything they ran away from. They see what it looks like to endure suffering with grace, They see what it means to walk in purpose. They see the price of obedience, and they can't stand it. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you kept going when they gave up. You trusted me when they chose comfort. You sacrificed when they settled. And now your elevation feels like an insult to their stagnation. But don't take it personally. This isn't really about you. This is about what your life reminds them of. It reminds them that I am still moving, that I am still calling, that I still reward faithfulness. Your rise exposes their complacency. Your joy reveals their resentment. Your peace disturbs the chaos they've been masking with pride. And yes, they are angry, but not because of who you are. They are angry because you didn't stay where they left you. You grew, you healed, you overcame. And now, the light I've placed in you makes it harder for them to hide in the shadows they've been living in. Their frustration isn't about your destination. It's about their own hesitation. They didn't think you'd go this far. But I did. Planned this. I authored every chapter. I saw every tear, every closed door, every betrayal. I saw the moments they celebrated your delay, and I saw how they never expected your destiny to unfold the way it has. And now, I am preparing a table for you in the presence of those who never thought you'd be invited to the feast. But I need you to hear me. Do not become bitter. Do not allow their unspoken anger to poison your peace. Do not fight the battles I've already won for you. They are angry, but you are anointed. They are resentful, but you are rising. They are hiding their emotions, but I have exposed their hearts, and I am protecting yours. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the season to apologize for the greatness I've placed in you. You are not here by accident. You are not thriving because of luck or manipulation. You are thriving because of grace, because you trusted me in the dark, because you stayed faithful when nothing made sense, because you allowed me to prune you, refine you, and mold you even when it was painful. And now the fruit is undeniable. The favor is visible. The oil is overflowing. Let them be silent. Let them pretend. Let them wrestle with their own hidden anger. I will handle that. You just keep walking. Keep building. Keep praying. Keep obeying. And know this, their anger cannot curse what I've already blessed. Their envy cannot reverse what I've established. Their discomfort with your success does not change my decision to elevate you. I am the one who lifts up and brings down. I am the one who opens doors no man can shut. I am the one who placed you in this position, not because you're perfect, but because you are mine. And no amount of silent rage can stop the unstoppable hand of God. So don't hold back, don't water yourself down. Don't stop shining just because your light makes others squint. I have called you to go far, and this is only the beginning. You have not yet seen the full measure of what I'm about to release. And yes, it will make some even more angry. Some will distance themselves. Some will talk behind closed doors. Some will pretend you don't inspire them while secretly copying everything you do. But I see it all. I hear what they won't say to your face. And I will keep covering you. I will keep favoring you. I will keep surrounding you with my angels. Because you've stayed faithful. Because you chose me when it wasn't popular. Because you allowed me to strip you of everything just to clothe you in purpose. This next season will be even greater. And yes, it will make them even more confused, even more quiet, even more uncomfortable. But don't worry, I will prepare your heart for that too. You are not alone. I will send new connections. I will place kingdom-minded people around you. I will raise up voices that will pour into you instead of pulling from you. You won't have to fight for recognition. I've already announced you in heaven. You won't have to defend your journey. I've already written the testimony. And no amount of silent anger can compete with the sound of my favor echoing through your life. So walk forward, not afraid of their anger, not burdened by their silence, but anchored in this truth. What I've started in you, no man can stop, not even those who are secretly angry about it. They say things with confidence, with conviction, even with a gentle tone. But I need you to understand this truth. Do not believe what they say, because they are lying. They wear masks of concern, but their words are coated in poison. Their speech may sound wise, even kind, but I see the motives beneath it. I hear what they say when you're not around. I know the intent hidden beneath every phrase, every suggestion, every backhanded compliment. Their lips say one thing, but their hearts say another. And I need you to see through it. I need you to stop letting their lies shape how you view yourself. I need you to stop handing your confidence over to voices that were never speaking from love in the first place. They lie not always with slander or cruelty, but with subtlety. They lie when they tell you you're not ready. They lie when they say you've gone too far. They lie when they question your calling, when they speak doubt over your dreams, when they minimize your growth and reduce your testimony to coincidence. They lie when they try to convince you that you're not enough, or that you're too much. They lie when they act as if you didn't pay a price for your progress, as if your blessings are unearned, as if your anointing is somehow undeserved. They lie not just to discredit you, but to distract you from me, from your purpose, from your identity. And I want you to hear me. I never told you to believe them. I never told you to let their opinions outweigh my promise. I never asked you to filter your worth through their limited understanding. They didn't call you, I did. They didn't choose you, I did. They weren't in the room when I knit you together in your mother's womb. They weren't there in the secret place when I whispered your name before you were ever born. So why are you letting them write chapters of your story I never gave them access to? I know their words sound persuasive. I know you want to believe the best about people. But sometimes, protection comes through separation. Sometimes love means stepping back and recognizing when the voice of the enemy is speaking through familiar faces. Their lies are meant to stop you, but you are moving forward. Their lies are meant to shake your confidence, but I am strengthening your foundation. Their lies are meant to blur your vision, but I am sharpening your discernment. And yes, it hurts. It hurts to realize that some of the people you trusted have been speaking falsehoods. It hurts to recognize the manipulation hidden in their advice. It hurts to admit that the love you thought was pure was tainted with jealousy, insecurity, and control. But healing begins when you stop denying the truth. And the truth is, they are not for you. Not everyone who smiles is sincere. Not everyone who praises you in public believes in you in private. Not everyone who walks beside you is meant to stay for the entire journey. But don't be afraid. I'm revealing these lies because I love you. I'm exposing deception so I can bring clarity. You've been praying for discernment. This is it. This is me pulling back the curtain, not to shame anyone, but to protect you, because your future requires freedom from every false word. Your calling cannot afford to be shaped by broken perspectives. Your soul cannot remain entangled with the influence of liars, no matter how familiar they may be. I am calling you higher, and that means leaving behind the voices that drag you down, whether through open criticism or disguised concern. Do not believe them when they say you're being arrogant, when in fact, you're simply confident in the assignment I gave you. Do not believe them when they say you're being distant, when in reality, you're finally guarding your peace. Do not believe them when they say you're acting brand new, when all you're doing is walking in newness of life, just like I called you to. Their words are twisted because their hearts are misaligned, but you, my child, are walking in truth. And that truth will offend those who have grown comfortable with pretending. Let them lie. Let them speak. Let them build their stories. I will dismantle every false narrative. I will deal with the lies spoken in darkness. I will bring light to every hidden scheme. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to match their energy. You don't need to prove anything. Just keep walking in obedience. Keep staying in alignment. Keep listening for my voice, because in a world of noise, my truth is your anchor. They lie because they see the light in you. They lie because your life confronts what they've ignored in their own. They lie because you didn't stay small, quiet, controllable. They lie because the truth of your transformation is undeniable. But don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll vindicate you. I'll silence the voices. I'll reveal everything in time. And when I do, it won't be to humiliate anyone, it will be to establish my glory through your story. Because what they lied about, I'll bless openly. What they tried to bury, I'll resurrect. What they distorted, I'll clarify in front of all. You are not who they say you are. You are who I say you are. And I say you are chosen, redeemed, strong, appointed, and covered. I say you are free, forgiven, rising, equipped, and unstoppable in me. My voice is truth, my words are life. And nothing they say, no matter how clever, how well packaged, how repeated, can override what I have already spoken. So don't entertain their lies any longer. Don't internalize what was never meant for your spirit. Rebuke the falsehoods, cast off the shame. Step into the fullness of your identity with confidence, with courage, with clarity. I am with you. I am for you. And I am going to take every lie the enemy has spoken through others, and I'm going to use it to elevate you even higher. What was said to stop you will push you. What was said to break you will build you. What was said in envy will only reveal my glory. So lift your head, lift your faith, and walk on unshaken by the lies, because truth himself walks beside you. Listen closely, not just to their words, but to their reactions. Not just to what they say when you're strong, but to how they respond when you're winning, when you're rising, when the light I placed inside you starts to shine a little brighter. I need you to step back, not to be paranoid or judgmental, but to become wise, discerning, and deeply aware of the atmosphere around you, because everyone isn't who they claim to be. And just because someone walks beside you doesn't mean they walk with you. Just because they clap doesn't mean they're truly celebrating. Just because they check in doesn't mean they care. Some people are studying you, not supporting you. Some are watching for your weakness, not covering your growth. That's why I'm calling you to observe, not to fear them, but to see clearly. Pay attention. Not everything is spoken plainly. Some truths are revealed in silence, in body language, in tone, in the subtle shift of how someone greets you. Notice who becomes quiet when your name is praised. Notice who changes the subject when your breakthrough is mentioned. Notice who starts competing when you begin to thrive. That's not coincidence. That's revelation. I am allowing you to see what's always been hidden. I'm pulling back the curtain, not to make you suspicious, but to protect your spirit, your focus, your purpose. Because where I'm taking you, you can't afford to carry people whose hearts are not aligned with your future. Observe how they react when I bless you. Do they rejoice or do they recoil? Do they pray for you or do they pick apart your progress? Do they speak life into your calling or do they subtly belittle what you're building? I need you to watch closely because I see it all. I hear the double talk, the two-faced conversations. I hear the congratulations that are quickly followed by complaints to others. I see the posts they don't like, the words they don't respond to, the distance they create the moment you step into your destiny. You think they're just busy. No, they're uncomfortable. Not with what you've done wrong, but with how much you've grown. And that discomfort will tell you more than their words ever could. Some will smile while their hearts frown. Some will help you in public while secretly hoping you fail in private. Some will speak peace but carry envy. Don't be deceived by politeness. Politeness is not purity. Kindness is not always love. Flattery is not always friendship. There are people who will walk with you just close enough to watch your steps, but not close enough to lift you when you fall. That's why I'm telling you, observe. Pay attention to how they look at you when you speak vision. Watch how their energy shifts when you succeed. Listen to the small pauses, the deflections, the sarcasm wrapped in compliments. You are not imagining it, you are perceiving it. And I gave you that discernment for a reason. Because discernment will guard your future from misplaced trust. I'm not trying to make you cold, I'm trying to make you wise. I'm teaching you to walk with people by assignment, not just attachment. Because some of the people you're loyal to are only loyal to the version of you that doesn't surpass them. And once you grow beyond that version, they become distant, defensive, even dismissive. You didn't change, they did. Or rather, their mask fell off. But I don't want you to harden your heart. I want you to guard it. Observe with love, not with hate, with clarity, not with revenge, because you will need to release some of the people you once leaned on, not because they were evil, but because they can't handle the new mantle I've placed on your life. Their capacity is still tied to the old you, and if you try to drag them into the next season, they will either resent you for growing or sabotage what I'm building through you. So watch, not just what they say to your face, but what they say when you're not in the room. How do they speak of you to others? Are they lifting your name in honor, or using your name to make themselves feel taller? Are they defending your absence, or using it to draw closer to those who oppose you? Are they building bridges with your enemies while calling you friend? These are the details that matter, not for gossip, but for growth. Because spiritual maturity isn't just about praying harder, it's about seeing clearer. And part of growing in me means learning who is assigned to your destiny and who is only comfortable with your dysfunction. You'll start to notice it more often now, how they hesitate to celebrate, how they force a smile, how they shift the conversation when your name becomes the center. You'll see how some become passive-aggressive, others overly critical. It's not your imagination, it's revelation. And I'm letting you feel it so you can let go of illusions, because I want your circle to match your calling. I want your relationships to reflect your purpose. I want your environment to nourish your spirit, not drain your energy. So don't ignore the signs, don't silence the red flags. Don't excuse away the discomfort just to keep the peace. I am the Prince of Peace, and I will give you true peace, peace that doesn't require shrinking yourself to fit in or pretending not to notice what's plainly in front of you. You are not being too sensitive. You are being sharpened. You are not overthinking. You are finally seeing. And yes, it may hurt to admit that some of the people you trusted were only meant for a season. But obedience is better than comfort, and clarity is a gift. Observe how they react not only to your success, but to your failures. Do they draw closer in your pain, or do they retreat when you're no longer useful? Do they pray with you or talk about you? Do they carry your burdens or carry news of your burdens to others? You'll know them by their fruit. You'll know their love by its consistency. You'll know their loyalty by its silence. I see all of it, and I will help you see it too. Not so you can be bitter, but so you can be better prepared for the road ahead. You are going places that require vision, not just passion. And vision requires people who can walk by faith, not just walk with familiarity. That's why I'm showing you what I'm showing you. So take a breath, step back, watch, listen, and let me reveal the hearts around you. Because when you know who is truly with you, you'll no longer waste time explaining yourself to those who were never meant to understand. I urge you to observe, not merely to see, but to perceive with the eyes of your spirit. Pay close attention to the words they utter and the subtle nuances of their reactions, for in these you will discern the true nature of their hearts. Notice how they speak when you share your dreams, your victories, your moments of joy. Do their words uplift, or do they carry an undertone of envy? Do they celebrate with you, or is there a fleeting shadow that crosses their face, a momentary flicker of discomfort? These are not mere coincidences. They are glimpses into the depths of their souls. Observe how they react when you stumble, when challenges arise. Are they quick to offer support, or do they retreat into silence? Do they extend a hand to help, or do they watch from a distance, concealed behind a facade of concern? Their reactions reveal more than their words ever could. Be mindful of the conversations they have in your absence. Are they your advocates, or do they allow your name to be tarnished without defense? Do they speak truthfully, or do they embellish stories to suit their narratives? The integrity of their speech is a mirror reflecting the state of their hearts. Consider the consistency of their actions. Do their deeds align with their declarations? Are they steadfast in their support, or do they waver when the path becomes arduous? True companions remain constant, not only in moments of triumph but also in times of trial. I call you to discernment, to see beyond the surface, to understand the intentions that lie beneath. This is not a call to judgment, but to wisdom. For as you grow, not all will journey with you. Some will falter, unable to withstand the light that emanates from your soul. Their discomfort is not your burden to bear. Remain steadfast in your purpose. Let your heart be guided by love, your actions by compassion, and your words by truth. In doing so, you will attract those whose spirits resonate with yours. Together, you will forge bonds unbreakable, grounded in mutual respect and shared purpose. Do not be disheartened by the revelations that come with observation. Instead, embrace them as opportunities for growth, for clarity, for alignment with your true path. For I am with you, guiding you, illuminating the way forward. Trust in this journey, and know that you are never alone. Listen to me now, for I speak not as a distant voice from the heavens, but as one who walks beside you, moment by moment, breath by breath. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you never shall be. I see the terrain you walk upon. It is not smooth, not easy, not without snares and shadows. There are traps laid carefully along your path, camouflaged with distraction, baited with flattery, cloaked in the appearance of opportunity, all designed by the enemy to draw you away from your purpose, to detour you from your destiny, to convince you to settle in places you were only meant to pass through. But hear this now and hold it close. I will lead you through every single trap. Not one of them shall prosper if you keep your eyes fixed on me. There are schemes being plotted in silence, behind closed doors and smiling faces. There are whispers designed to confuse you, delays meant to frustrate you, and people planted to derail you. But I know every twist and every turn. I know every lie spoken about you. I know every plot before it even begins. And I want you to understand, just because you cannot see the trap does not mean I cannot see it. And just because they set it doesn't mean you will fall into it. For I have gone ahead of you. I walk the road before you, and when I walk ahead, the enemy must yield. Where I am, darkness flees. The enemy is cunning, yes. He is patient, yes. He observes your habits, your vulnerabilities, your longings, your fears. He does not always attack in ways that are loud or obvious. Sometimes the trap looks like a promotion. Sometimes it sounds like a compliment. Sometimes it wears the face of friendship. And other times it whispers through discouragement, isolation, and doubt. But no matter the form, I will not allow you to fall, so long as you are walking with me. I will nudge your spirit. I will stir your discomfort. I will close doors you begged me to open, not to harm you, but to protect you. There will be moments where you won't understand. Moments where what looked like a blessing slips through your hands. Moments where the path you thought was straight suddenly winds into the unknown. And in those moments the enemy will speak. He will tell you I have abandoned you. He will question your identity. He will distort the truth, just as he did in the garden. But I have given you my word, and I have written it upon your heart. I will remind you who you are. I will remind you whose you are. You are mine, bought with a price, guarded by grace, surrounded by angels, covered in my blood. The traps may be laid, but I hold the map. I hold your hand, and I will never lead you where my grace cannot sustain you. When the enemy lays traps, I will train your feet to step lightly. I will sharpen your vision, so you may see what others do not. I will teach your ears to discern between truth and almost truth. I will raise your spiritual awareness until you recognize the wolf beneath the wool. And even if you are caught for a moment, even if the snare closes around your ankle, I will break it. I will pull you out. I will restore you and use what was meant to destroy you as a lesson, a testimony, a weapon against the enemy himself. Not every setback is a failure. Sometimes it is a redirection. Not every delay is denial. Sometimes it is a hidden mercy. You ask me to bless you, and I shall. But do not forget, blessing is not always what you receive. Sometimes it is what you avoid. You have no idea what I've shielded you from. You may cry over the relationship that ended, the opportunity that passed, the circle that broke. But what you see as rejection, I often use as protection. If only you could see the traps I dismantle before you even rise in the morning. If only you knew how many times I have commanded the enemy to back off, because you are covered under my name. I will not lead you into confusion. That is not of me. If the path feels muddled, noisy, pressured, it is not my doing. My leading is peaceful, even when the way is narrow. My presence brings clarity, not chaos. When I speak, it may challenge you, but it will never crush you. When I move you, it may stretch you, but it will never shatter you. You do not need to strive, prove, or perform. Simply follow me, listen, obey, abide. Even in the valley of the shadow of death, I am there. I prepare it for you in the very presence of those who laid the snares. They will watch, powerless, as I elevate you, not because you are perfect, but because you trusted me in imperfection. Your obedience, not your perfection, is your weapon. Your faith, even as small as a mustard seed, disrupts every trap the enemy devises. So take heart. Even if you feel surrounded, you are not forsaken. Even if you feel lost, you are still led. Even when the enemy encamps around you, I have already encamped around him. I laugh at his plots, I confuse his confusion, I frustrate his strategies, I scatter his counsel, I blind his spies, I block his pathways. And I will never let you walk blindly into destruction when you are holding on to me. There is no trap too intricate, no deception too clever, no ambush too sudden that I cannot dismantle it in an instant. When I lead, traps become testimonies. Snares become stories of salvation. What the enemy meant for evil, I turn for good. Always, that is my promise to you. And I do not break my promises. So walk boldly even if the fog is thick. Speak truth even if the lies are loud. Remain anchored even when the waves rise. For I, your shepherd, your defender, your king, will lead you through. Not around, not above, not below, but through. Because it is in the going through that I refine you, reveal myself to you, and restore what the enemy tried to steal. You are not prey, you are not lost. You are not without hope. You are my beloved, and I shall lead you, step by step, breath by breath, day by day, through every trap, every test, every trial. Watch what I do, trust where I take you, and you will see, the enemy is clever, but I am sovereign. Listen to my voice, tender yet unwavering, as I draw you into the depths of my promise. I will silence the enemy's whispers, and no shadow of doubt shall endure against the brightness of my truth. Do not let others distract your faith in me, for their well-meaning cautions and half-truths, spoken with affectionate concern or disguised as prudent advice, are merely echoes of the adversary attempting to steer your gaze away from the one true source of life and hope. In the stillness of your heart, I speak more clearly than the cacophony of external voices. There, in the secret place where my spirit dwells with you, every lie loses its power and every fearful suggestion dissolves in the warmth of my presence. You have, perhaps, walked through seasons when the world's chorus of criticism and disbelief seemed so convincing that you began to question the very foundation of your calling, wondering if you had misheard me or misread my plan. Yet even then I was never silent, and your trembling faith was never in vain. Every doubt you overcame, every whisper you refused to entertain, strengthened the fortress of your soul, and prepared you to stand unshakable in the face of every future assault. Remember the nights when the enemy's voice seemed to echo louder than my own, when every memory of past failures and painful regrets rose like a tide to drown your hope. I know the precise tone of those whisperings, how they slipped into your mind with gentle deceit, masquerading as necessary self-reflection or humble caution. Yet they were nothing more than veiled attempts to derail you. I will intercept every one of those attacks. I will transmute the sting of shame into a seal of my mercy, and the ache of regret into a reminder of my redemptive power. When the whispers of inadequacy tell you that you are unworthy of my love, I will envelop you in the assurance that nothing you have done, nothing you could ever do, can diminish the fullness of my grace that was poured out for you on the cross. When the whispers of fear murmur that the road ahead is too perilous, I will embolden your spirit with the knowledge that I have already gone before you, mapping out every bend and shadow, and that my hand is ever present to guide you past every stumbling block. When the whispers of loneliness attempt to convince you that you are forsaken, I will remind you that I have vowed never to leave you nor forsake you, and that wherever you turn, my spirit is dwelling within you as a constant companion, a light that darkness cannot overcome. Do not let the well-intentioned warnings of friends and family distract you from the ultimate source of your confidence, for their insight, though often born of love, is limited by human perspective and colored by their own fears and disappointments. They may caution you against pressing forward when your heart is filled with audacious hope, urging you to settle for safety when I have destined you for adventure, to cling to the familiar when I am calling you into uncharted realms of faith. Their words, if unexamined, can become shackles around your trust in me, binding you to a version of life that falls short of the glorious purpose I have ordained. Instead, cultivate a listening ear for my voice alone, leaning not on your own understanding or the counsel of men, but acknowledging me in every step you take, confident that I will make your paths straight. For every voice that whispers this is too risky, or you may be disappointed, there is my still small whisper saying, this is where you will find me most profoundly. This is where your faith will flourish into a testimony that glorifies my name. There will be days when the enemy wages war on your mind with a relentless barrage, images of past mistakes replayed like a broken record, comparisons that dim your joy by juxtaposing your behind the scenes with another's highlight reel, and prophecies of failure that were never spoken by my lips, but that echo from the lips of misguided well-wishers. Yet in those very moments I stand as a bulwark between you and every assault. I will bring to remembrance every promise I have spoken over you, reminding you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you have been appointed to bear fruit that remains, and that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in you. The enemy's whispers will fall silent as you fix your gaze on my faithfulness, reflecting on the times when my mercy met you at your lowest, when my strength sustained you through trials, when my peace calmed your storms. Let the record of my past deliverances and the testimony of countless saints who have walked by faith be like a thunder that drowns out every subtle lie. Let the chorus of my love become the anthem of your heart, louder and more resounding than any fear could ever be. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, amid deadlines, responsibilities, and the myriad distractions of the world, you must carve out a sacred space for communion with me, for it is there that the enemy's whispers are most easily recognized and most decisively silenced. When you rise each morning, offer your first thoughts to me. When the day presses in with demands, invite me into every decision. When the weight of the world feels crushing, rest in my lap and let my spirit whisper truths of hope into your ear. I will guard that time you spend with me, sanctifying it as a refuge where lies cannot penetrate. And in that place of abiding, you will be equipped with a discernment that sees through every deception, a courage that stands firm in every trial, and a joy that glows bright in every circumstance, no matter how dark. Do not despise the discipline of watching your thoughts and holding every notion captive to the obedience of Christ. When a thought arises that contradicts my word, when ambition tempts you to trust in yourself rather than in me, when envy seeks to settle into your heart, when despair tries to claim dominion, recognize it as a whisper of the foe and speak aloud my truth in response. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment I condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and my righteousness is from you. By doing so you will see those lies recoil and vanish, for the power of my word in your mouth is sharper than any blade, more living than any virus of doubt. The enemy's whispers may be subtle, but you wield a power more potent still, the authority of the Son of God, the blood-bought right to stand impervious in the stronghold of my love. And when the world around you grows loud once more, the clamor of naysayers, the urgent calls to conform, the mass of opinions that vie for your allegiance, do not be swayed. Let your devotion to me be as an anchor in that storm, fixed upon the unshakable rock of ages. Do not let the fear of man become a snare around your neck. Fear only me, who can cast both body and soul into hell. Let the fear of displeasing me be greater than any dread of disappointing others. For those who trust in me will never be put to shame. Even if you find yourself standing alone at times, bereft of visible support, remember that you have the companionship of heaven itself, the angels who encamp around those who fear the Lord, the Spirit who intercedes for you with groanings too deep for words, the Father who delights over you with singing. Your enemies will watch in frustration as their carefully orchestrated whispers fail to take root. They will fume in silence when your faith remains unshaken, when your hope rises again each morning, when your love overflows even to those who oppose you. They will search for fresh tactics, but I will equip you with fresh oil, fresh anointing, fresh insight. You will discern their next move before it even manifests in the physical realm, because you will be walking in step with the Spirit, whose footsteps echo the rhythm of eternity. And as you continue on this journey, refusing to allow the distractions of others or the whispers of the foe to unmoor you, your life will become a symphony of testimony, a living proclamation of my triumph over every scheme of darkness. So stand firm, beloved, keep your gaze fixed upon me. Let my word dwell richly within you, a fortress impervious to every assault. Do not let others distract your faith in me, for their counsel is but fleeting when weighed against the eternal counsel of your Creator. Keep your heart tuned to my frequency, for in me is fullness of joy, and at my right hand pleasures forevermore. And as you do, watch how the enemy's whispers are rendered impotent, how the lies lose their sting, how the shadows flee before the dawn of my presence within you. This is the victory that overcomes the world, your faith, and it shall never fail. Listen closely, beloved, for I charge you to stand firm in truth, and to wield wisdom and clarity as an impenetrable safeguard against every misleading influence that threatens your soul. Imagine your heart as a fortress of light, every stone laid by the sure foundation of my word, every rampart built from the resolve to know what is true, and to refuse every whisper that veers you off course, for the world will press you from all sides with half-truths dressed as compassion, with opinions masquerading as expert counsel, and with the siren song of shortcuts that promise ease but deliver ruin. Yet you will not be moved, because you have anchored yourself in the unchanging verities of heaven, where every promise I have spoken stands unshaken by time or tide. In moments when confusion swirls like a gale, when friends suggest you compromise your convictions in order to get along, when authorities demand you bend to public pressure or modern wisdom, when your own heart trembles under the weight of choice, do not falter. Instead, draw from the well of my Spirit, drink deeply of the pure stream of revelation, and ask for eyes to see and ears to hear the voice of truth above the clamor. For I have not given you a spirit of timidity, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And that sound mind discerns between what is fleeting and what is eternal, between the seduction of the moment and the call of the ages. When politicians or pundits package moral relativism as progress, when cultural trends applaud every indulgence as self-expression, when social media clamors that your value lies in popularity or appearance, you will not be swayed, because you remember that your identity is not defined by shifting standards, but by my unbreakable decree that you are precious, chosen, fearfully and wonderfully made. You will hold fast to the truth that freedom is not licensed to do as you please, but the fruit of surrendering to my will, and that true fulfillment never comes through chasing applause, but by walking in obedience to the Spirit who calls you higher. In the marketplace of ideas, where half-baked philosophies peddle quick fixes for sin, where counterfeit spirituality dangles a fleeting glimpse of transcendence, where well-meaning mentors inadvertently parrot the enemy's lies, you will lean on the shelf of Scripture for confirmation, comparing every teaching, every notion, every trend to the plumb line of heaven's standards. And if it fails the test, you will discard it without regret, knowing that true wisdom redeems every challenge and that my ways, higher than your ways, always lead to abundant life. Do not fall for the everyone's doing it mantra that seeks to normalize compromise, nor for the it's just tradition excuse that cloaks poor theology in the robes of cultural habit. Rather, let clarity be your constant companion, shining a penetrating light into the darkest corners of thought, exposing hidden biases, unmasking false motives, and illuminating the narrow path that leads to life. When the world's chatter becomes deafening, voices urging you to conform, to rebel, to indulge, to abstain, each claiming the high ground, you will withdraw to the secret place, settle your heart in prayer, and ask me to grant you supernatural discernment, because you realize that true wisdom is not the accumulation of clever arguments, but the humility to recognize your own blind spots and the courage to stand by my revealed truth even when it costs you popular approval. As you navigate shifting alliances, changing fashions of doctrine, and well-meaning but misguided counsel, keep your inner compass pointed toward the North Star of grace and righteousness, refusing to be tossed by every wind of teaching, for my spirit within you will confirm what is consistent with the kingdom of God, and warn you away from that which veers into darkness. Let clarity guard your mind against the snare of overthinking, where endless debate leads to paralysis, by reminding yourself that sometimes the wisest course is simple obedience. When I say love your neighbor, you love. When I say forgive, you forgive. When I say go, you go. And when I say wait, you wait. In this way, you will demonstrate a faith that is both discerning and bold, a trust that is anchored yet ever growing, shining like a lighthouse in a stormy sea, drawing others to the safety of my harbor. Do not shrink when called to testify to my truth. Even if your voice trembles before an audience fearful of offense, let humility guide your tone, let conviction back your words, and let kindness temper your rebuke, so that the wisdom you speak carries both authority and love. And when you see the faces of those ensnared by deceitful narratives, whether in politics, in popular culture, or even in spiritual circles, approach them not with arrogance, but with compassion, extending the éclaircissement of clarity by pointing them back to my word, helping them question the assumptions they have long taken for granted, and inviting them into the freedom of my truth. Remember, beloved, that standing firm in truth is not a static posture, but a lifelong pilgrimage. You will keep learning, keep refining, keep placing error with understanding, until the day you see me face to face and know fully, even as you are fully known. So gird your mind with the belt of truth, arm yourself with the shield of faith, and march onward unwavering into every challenge and conversation, for you carry within you the lamp of clarity, a lamp whose glow will outshine every misleading influence, whose warmth will conquer every chill of doubt, and whose flame will burn brightly until the world beholds the splendor of my unadulterated truth shining forth through you. If you find meaning in these words, please consider offering a small donation as a token of your gratitude. Your support empowers us to continue sharing these divine messages, and while you're here, be sure to subscribe to Son of God so you won't miss any of our inspirational content. Thank you for your kindness. Amen.